Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys and welcome to my Mercury Retrograde 2020 pickapile reading. This is the last retrograde of 2020 and boy is it a wild one. When I was meditating on my own energy going into this Mercury retrograde, I kept seeing a roller coaster. And I love roller coasters. And the scariest part and the best part is when it clicks up before it drops and the ride gets going. And I feel like as we go into this Mercury retrograde season, this period that we're in between two full moons, in the midst of a new moon in Libra in a couple days, it's a powerful time. I think the last time we saw the astrology in alignment the way it was in 2000. So here we are 20 years later. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I do follow them to know what's going on. So I really encourage you to explore more about the energies and what's going on with the astrology and the planets as Mars is still in retrograde. So there are some astrologers I follow. I'll put their channel links in the description box below for you if you want to learn more. So my intention into this pickapile is to support you going into this retrograde. So like I said, I very much enjoy roller coasters, but I also know my limits. So not everybody enjoys roller coasters. I chose the saying today, choose happy, because we really get to choose whether we want to go on the ride or not. We get to choose the experience we're having when we're on the ride, right? We can move into fear and resistance or trust and flow and fun. So, and you can have all those variety of emotions all in the matter of a minute. So every single time there's a retrograde, I learn something more about myself, how I've evolved, grown, how I've become stronger, what I need to focus on, where my weaknesses are. And I use this time as observation, reflection, leaning into the energy. So there's really not that feeling of dread that can be the climate towards Mercury retrograde. So if you can surrender into it, feel empowered into it, self-soothe, I can handle this, I can move through this, I can do this, right? If you can just comfort yourself, I'm safe, I'm protected, I have everything I need right now, because really things can feel disoriented. So I chose to start with, I'm going to pull all the cards on camera and then we'll go into the individual reading. So I chose to start with a guide from the angels and angels and ancestors to guide you through this retrograde. And then I'm going to pull from the power of surrender, what you can focus on this retrograde. Message from your soul on your soul's journey. What lessons are you learning? What's being activated within you during this Mercury retrograde? And then finally, we'll finish with an affirmation card. All right, so let's see here. I am going to, if you haven't joined me for my pick-a-pile readings, I pull the cards right in front of you. And if you choose not to watch, you can just skip ahead to the timestamp after I choose the guides. All right, so let me open space, inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today. Directly want to connect to the angels and ancestors in this oracle card deck. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, guides, 3 cards for pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So what guide wants to lead pile 1? Guide wants to lead pile 1. wants to lead pile 2 and pile 3. Let's go with this one. All right, so I have this new setup. So hopefully these readings will be easier for me to do and more comfortable. I might need to adjust throughout the reading, so bear with me. So pile 1 is Earth Mother. Feel loved and comforted. Pile 2, the guide is the Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. I'm already excited. And pile 3, Guardian Angel. You are not alone. Now, one pile may jump out to you. 2 piles, all 3 you may need. I know a lot of my followers like to watch the entire video. And, I do a lot of teaching in these videos. So you can gain information, you can gain knowledge and insight and wisdom from all 3. But pay attention to what you're pulled to the most. Drop down into your head, into your heart. Sometimes when I'm choosing, it's based on a picture. The lighting sometimes I just know it's 1, 2, or 3, or I'll hear in my mind's eye or in my mind what pile. Other times I'll start a pile and I'm like, this is definitely not for me. And then I'll switch to something else. And other times I'll look at the timestamps and I'll look at the numbers if I'm not sure. So take your time with choosing. And I'm going to go ahead and choose the rest of the cards for the piles. If you're not sure yet and you want to watch how they come out, stay with me. Or you can jump ahead to the timestamps below. All right, Earth Mother. Earth Mother for pile 1. What needs to be surrendered during this Mercury Retrograde 2020? All right. Shapeshifter. Let's see, let's just put this down here. Shapeshifter. What needs to be surrendered for pile 2? And, oops, sorry, I told you the setup's going to be new. I want to make some adjustments. And Guardian Angel. There we go. All right, so lessons. What lessons are being learned during this retrograde October, November 2020? Earth Mother, pile 1. And pile 2, Shapeshifter. What lessons being learned during this Mercury retrograde? And pile 3. And what's being activated this Mercury retrograde for pile 1? And what's being activated for pile 2? I'm going to go for all 3. See how that goes. And pile 3, what's being activated this Mercury retrograde for those who chose pile 3. All right. And finally, an affirmation to support you during this October, November 2020 retrograde for pile 1. Pile 2. And pile 3. There we go. All right, so let me just get these set up here. Okay, so here we go. There we go. We have pile 1, Earth Mother, pile 2, Shapeshifter, pile 3. And again, take a deep breath. Drop down from your head into your physical body. All right, let's begin. All right, let's see here. So pile 1, welcome. Those who chose the Earth Mother feel loved and comforted. So things like a hot shower, a salted foot bath, warm blankets, heated blankets, warm tea or coffee can bring comfort during this Mercury retrograde. So if things are getting raw or they're getting intense and you're feeling pulled at them, Earth Mother is here to support you, comfort you, soothe you, warm soup, hearty meals, whatever's going to soothe your soul. So let me just read a little bit about her. Earth Mother. So it says, allow yourself to be cherished. Earth Mother is protecting you with a shield of light and love. So if you're the mother to people, children, if you're the maternal one at work, this Mercury retrograde, you may need to receive that maternal support for yourself. You can call on the Divine Mother, Mother Nature. This is that part of, in my weekly reading, I talked about how important it is to receive and how beautiful it is for the giver to give. It says, Earth Mother is a female counterpart to Sky Father. It's auspicious to receive this card because in the eyes of the heart of the Earth Mother, you are her child, and she is highly protective of her baby and will give you everything you need to grow and expand. Earth Mother is only covered by leaves in this card, showing the vulnerability of the earth. Every day she experiences challenges that she has to adapt to and overcome. Her energy, represented by the symbol of the pagan triple goddess, Maiden, Mother, and Crone, behind her can help you adapt to the changes of life coming your way. So this is really great support going into even just screenshotting the picture. If you're going to be working on the mother wound during this retrograde, the divine feminine within you, the who am I without these roles, activating these parts of you that you may not have been able to experience, right? Because I have to's and shoulds. And what the Earth Mother would like you to surrender. Wow, surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson in every moment. So this card is very soothing. It's this beautiful soft yellow. I keep seeing the empowerment energy, but it's empowered in the pause. So many of us are in the liminal space. The liminal space is defined as the space in between. Things have ended and things have not yet begun. And so we can become fearful if we're not aware of what this liminal space feels like. It's almost like nothingness, like nothing's happened. You may feel a little bored. And what happens with the feminine energies, she'll want to create tension or drama or like put the squeeze on to get things moving. So be mindful, those of you who chose pile 1, how you're leaning into the pause and observe how you're trying to fill space, right? Getting things done when you're tired, responsibilities, activities, trying to force things, trying to get places fast. This is a time to really lean into quiet and stillness, especially those who chose pile 1, to pause and reflect. Now, when I do my soul coaching with clients, one of the first things that I have them do is practice stillness, sacred silence. And they always discover that the sacred silence in stillness isn't about the act of creating those 3 to 5 minutes a day. It's the avoidance, the procrastination, and what comes up while trying to create that space in your life, right? So when you can observe and be honest with yourself, every time I sit down and read a really good book that's transformative and spiritual, I immediately want to pick up my phone. I want to go get some water. I want to distract myself. And I'm like, wow. And I do it when I sit down and I want to get creative. I immediately want to go do something else. And so these last few months, I've been really watching that. And the more I feel out the wanting to distract without actually going to do something like picking up the phone or going to get water or vacuuming or doing anything other than getting this information or receiving this information that's going to support me, my ego says, we don't want to hear this. It's change and we don't like this. And so I recognize what that feels like, and I can soothe myself saying, it's okay. We've been here before. Just sit with it. And every time I do that, I get more insight on my soul's path, right? So when you embark on a soul's journey, when you embark on the sacred walk, the dance with the universe, it's intertwined with unhealthy habits that are going to pull you away from progress, succeeding, moving forward. And if you can just observe those with curiosity and compassion, if you could just observe those and notice about yourself without the critic, right? Without the bully, without trying to force anything, if you can just observe it, the knowing and the seeing it and the recognizing it is the healing. That's the attunement. That's the shift. And then each time you're going to know what that feels like. So I feel like those who chose pile 1, remember the Divine Mother is with you and she's fiercely loving you and wants you to grow and evolve. But you also need to be able to see where the limitations are, where the blocks are, to advancing on your soul's journey, soul's path. So things may not be happening per se these next few weeks, but action-wise, but you can get a lot of insight if you're willing to be honest with yourself and look at yourself completely naked and see it. Ask the universe, Divine Mother, show me what I need to see. Show me the healing that needs to happen. And without judgment, without blame, without shame, without expectation, without trying to force something, all you have to do is notice it. So, denial, right? Be honest with yourself. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Friends, this is exactly what I just channeled. So, know that if you feel like you're in this space in between, you've done a lot and you don't know where you're going, and there's endings and there's not yet beginnings, and it could be anything. It could be with manifesting a partnership, a soul group, a tribe, a new job, money, your finances. It could be overcoming a challenge within your marriage, within your partnership, within your family dynamic, right? A lot of people have worked hard to create balance, or a lot of people have worked towards creating balance in their life. towards having it all, quote unquote, having it all. And so this retrograde, for those of you who chose pile 1, I feel like this is going to be a time to, I want to say, not do anything. Lay down, stare at the ceiling, get comfortable in the pause, get comfortable in the nothingness. There's value there, and there's wisdom and insight, right? As soon as we get that overwhelm and we want to jump to distract, that energy, that momentum is, it's gone, because now you're putting energy into something else. And it takes a lot to build that energy back up again. So, working with denial, right? Fears. You may not even know. And that's where having cards, having guidance can help you. You may have trouble getting insight in what that even means. But all you have to do is ask the Earth Mother to comfort you and love you and to show you what you need to know. Now, you also have to understand, in order for you to see, there needs to be tension. There needs to be resistance, right? That's the ebb and flow. Thinking about a slingshot. You got to go backwards to go forwards, right? There's got to be the pullback and to create tension in order for it to go forward, the object to go forward and hit the target. Right? So this is what Mercury retrograde does for a lot of people. It's like a pullback. So I get really inspired during Mercury retrograde and I want to do all those things. But then I may have technology issues, time issues, things like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm just supposed to receive the download. And divine timing, divine order will inspire me to move when it's time, right? There is a energy here of being hyper-focused on the self in a loving, gentle way. And replacing any fears that come up, right? What if it doesn't happen? I'm going to be here, stuck here forever. This is so annoying. This person needs to change, or I feel helpless, or I feel powerless, and I don't know what's going to happen. How can you recognize that and then soothe? Today, just for today, I do not worry. Just for today, I don't need to get angry. Just for today, I do my work honestly, right? Those are some of the Reiki principles. But just bringing yourself back to the present moment. And I just noticed that as I was saying those things, I was naturally rubbing my chest, rubbing my heart center. And that's how I soothe myself, right? It's very comforting. So when you can be aware of that, take a deep breath, relax, breathe open, right? When you feel the tension in your body. And then remind yourself, I replace this denial with insight of awareness. Show me, right? We've got solar plexus here. We've got sacral chakra, which is the energy of joy, happiness, right? Inner peace, true inner peace is in the present moment. Regardless of what's going on around you, true inner peace is the knowing that God's got your back. And you're safe, protected, and supported 1,000% and tenfold. All right, so what's being activated? Let's see here. What's being activated during this Mercury retrograde? Passion. Look at more orange. Now we got red coming in, root chakra. This is how we're going to ground these new beginnings. 34, 3 plus 4 equals 7. 7 is spiritual insight. It's the shadow. It's the unseen. It's the divine feminine. It says the frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. I just love how these cards always fall into alignment. It's the magic, right? This is the magic. This is the sacred, divine magic of insight and wisdom. You know, there's no coincidence that the readings that I do unfold the way they do, right? Because the divine knows that we have this fear filter, we have this denial filter, we have this non-belief filter, right? And divine guidance is always, always, always consistent and persistent. It is never going to tell you to do something to hurt somebody else. Personal gain, things like that. That's ego. It can seem like intuition. But these messages have been coming up a lot in my readings. My weekly Sunday card readings. And there's a reason why we hear these repetitive empowering messages, because the divine needs to knows that we need to hear things and see things and feel things over and over and over again to gain confidence, and they will happily and graciously continue to remind you, to assist you to move forward. It's their beautiful divine energy, right? It's their gift of patience, because they want you to move towards happiness. Because when you feel good, the people around you feel good. When they feel good, the people around them feel good. When they feel good, the people around them feel good. So really, truly, peace on earth starts with us. And final affirmation, following your bliss. My soul sings with joy. Wow. This reading was a big old giant hug. I love it that they shine a light on the shadow in a gentle way, right? Showing you what you're working towards. Surrender into your soul's path. Surrender doesn't necessarily mean give up on an idea, on something that we desire or yearn for. It means relaxing into the moment when the fear comes up, right? Oh my gosh, what if this doesn't happen? Oh man, I'm so scared about this. When you can take a deep breath, relax, breathe, and open your chest, open your heart, lean into the energy of the universe, of the divine. I call God Father Love. That's my language, and I'll say, Father Love, just envelop me with your safety, your protection. Divine Mother, come in and soothe me with your warm embrace. And I imagine myself just kind of leaning into it until I feel calm, until I feel peaceful. So this work, this spiritual work that so many of you are doing on this journey, right, to passion, igniting your bliss and your joy on this planet, moving towards inner peace so that you can be a teacher, it's going to require you to continue to show up, to reprogram in a healthy, loving, nurturing way. This Mercury retrograde, I'm feeling like they're saying get rid of the critic, get rid of the bully, get rid of the blame, get rid of the shame. In order to get rid of it, you got to know what it feels like. That's what shame feels like. Oh man, there's the critic, I'm being hard. Usually your body will tell you. You'll get tense in your middle back, right? Your breathing will become shallow. Your lower back might activate, right? You might get aches and pains in your body. That's like the fuming on the inside, calm and cool on the outside. All you have to do is notice it. There it is again. Thank you. That's what that feels like. Breathe, relax, soften, open. And that's how you can self-soothe. It's so simple, but you've got to continue to show up towards it. Even when there's that part of you that wants to get frustrated and annoyed, right? That's not going to be helpful this Mercury retrograde, these next few weeks. All right, friends. This was a beautiful reading to channel. I feel super hugged. I hope you're leaving this reading feeling super hugged. Let me know in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. If you want more of these, you can subscribe and follow my channel. I hope to, now that I have this better setup, to do more of these readings. So thank you so much for watching, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. All right, those of you who chose pile 2, welcome. So this pile's starting with Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. Amazing. So let me read about the Shapeshifter. So he is a guy that you can invoke, a guy that you can call on during this Mercury retrograde. So the message here says, take your time and focus on developing your gifts and your strengths. In shamanic traditions, a shapeshifter is either an animal that has the capacity to change between species, or a shaman who has the capacity to transform into an animal to go journeying. If there is a wild animal you are particularly drawn to or fascinated by, it's probably because you can transform into one in your meditation or journeying practice to go exploring in other worlds. When you shift into animal form, you can see the world through different eyes and tap into the animal's survival skills to help yourself go through a particular situation. So I'm hearing the word perspective. How can you see things? Wait a minute. So with Mercury retrograde, our perception of things can become distorted. The way the energies are pulling, right, on communication, travel, electronics, right? We can almost be confident. And then when things go direct, making commitments and things like that, what was I thinking? Why did I think I would be able to have enough time for that? Why did I commit to that, right? So perception in the pause these next few weeks, I feel like would be instrumental in your awareness. I'm also hearing the words, you may be called to duty, quote unquote, called to duty, this Mercury retrograde, to be the example, to show up. You may be called to be a guiding light for someone, a group, these next few weeks, right? So you'll morph. I feel like for some of you who chose pile 2, I feel like the shapeshifter will actually be with you because you'll morph into an energy. Maybe it's your wisdom. Maybe it's your light that somebody else needs to experience or see during these next few weeks. So those of you who chose pile 2, you may be an example. And that's how you'll unveil your gifts and how you show up for people or how you show up to your own values and your own gifts. So the shapeshifter may work with you. And then also too, there's another aspect of this pile that the shapeshifter will work with you when you're problem solving to see another perspective. Right? He can shine a light on what you can't see to transform the energies, the emotions, the experiences you're feeling. So if you come up against an illusion of a block or something where you feel stuck or trapped in, call on the shapeshifter and he can show you a way out. He can journey with you, right? And so pay attention to the animals that you may be dreaming about. I have animals show up in my dreams. I have animals that show up in my everyday walking, living life that I'm like, that's a sign, right? Be aware of the repetition. You know, if you're on social media and you keep seeing a specific animal, scroll through, look it up. What's that animal's medicine? I just keep seeing the shapeshifter wanting to lead the way. So those of you who chose pile 2, twofold. It may be you invoking your gifts and your light and being a beacon of light and a leader for people, right? Helping them shift. Or, like I said, feeling stuck or feeling trapped in your own life. Shapeshifter can help you with perspective to show you another way. So, what does the shapeshifter feel or think you should surrender this? Wow. Surrender to your ego. Immediately, it's like the I know. I know it has to be this way. When you're in that I know, you're in your head and you're out of alignment with your wisdom of your heart. So the card says, cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. Yes. So pay attention to the way you've been doing things these next few weeks. Remember, annoyances and frustrations are part of the tension to help us change, evolve, and grow, right? So if we can look at these things as information fuel. So I have lately been practicing revitalizing my body with fear energy or frustration. So if I get annoyed by something, like this morning I had to go somewhere and I forgot what I needed. So I had to come back home and I had to go back. And I was a little annoyed by it. And I surrendered it in the moment. I'm like, hey, there's nothing that frustration or anger is going to help me. I noticed it. I'm like, there it is. And then I actually used it to revitalize my body and transformed it. I turned on the radio and a song by Everlong. Foo Fighters, Everlong. I believe that's the song was on. And I cranked that song. And I'll tell you, friends, it was just what I needed in the moment. And it broke up that frustration energy. And it literally revitalized my body. And I was able to transform it. Shapeshifter, right? I can see where this is coming from. So my ego could have certainly been, you made a mistake, you're not paying attention, you should have known, you should have prepared, you're tired. I could have given all those critical excuses and those reasons that would have gotten me more annoyed with myself. But in that moment, I chose to notice it, lean into it, surrender it. Hey, it is what it is. It's happening. Nothing I can do to change it. And then, like I said, I used my external environment to revitalize my system. And the rest of the day went perfectly fine. So you may be called to be aware of how your ego is. It has to be this way. I know, right? Pay attention to the things that you keep doing over and over again that aren't working out for you. Shapeshifter can help you with that. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? I'm sure we've heard that over and over again. That is a theme, maybe for those of you who chose pile 2, or maybe those of you who are the teachers and are here to lead people in the light. Maybe the shapeshifter will give you perspective on what people don't see that they're doing over and over again. And you can use your voice. Sometimes we want to hide, right? EarthAngels, a lot of EarthAngels had abusive upbringings, children should be seen and not heard. You don't know what you're talking about. A lot of I'm the boss, I'm the teacher, I'm the parent, listen to me, it's my way or the highway. A lot of us grew up with those harsh environments that weren't emotionally nurturing. So we learned to be people pleasers to keep ourselves safe, right? So you may be called these next few weeks to shine a light on something maybe people don't see, they don't realize. And that's going to take you using your voice and standing in your power and coming from that loving place. Soul lesson. Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I don't agree with this. No, thank you. Not right now. I'd prefer to do it another way. These are all different firm boundaries and alternatives. I understand how you're feeling and I need, right? So some of you, this Mercury retrograde might hash things out. You may revisit some things that had gone stale, maybe things that you've avoided, maybe things that you've put off, and you'll feel that calling, that urge to speak up or make something right or share your perspective. Shapeshifter, you can call on Shapeshifter to help oversee the energy, right? It's interesting because this reading feels tense, but I also know it's the tension that actually heals and grows. So those of you who chose pile 2, you're in for real beautiful growth during this. And I think this is maybe just some insight for you to look at the challenges or the adversity that you may face from a different perspective. I just posted, so I am going to keep my office closed another month. So I just posted 3 different card readings. And one is a 2020 soul growth reading. And that's part of why I did it, is to get a perspective on the challenges, the adversities, the difficulties that you may have experienced in 2020, and to get some clarity on what it all means and why. So this energy is here. This energy is, especially with the retrograde, it is time to pause and reflect. I said in the beginning, so many of us are in this liminal space, right? We've accomplished, finished a lot, and the new is not yet here. So we're in this space of observation, reflection, recoup, recharge, recover. So how can you be aware of these shadows, this shadow self, the things that aren't seen? Okay, so we have 3 here. We have three. What's being activated? The first card, solar plexus. This is your empowerment. I'm telling you, I think a lot of you are going to step into your gifts and use your voice, share your knowledge and wisdom, and know that not everybody might understand where you're coming from. So it says the frequency of their solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. Yes, that's Shapeshifter. The divine feminine, 3. So we have 2 3s here, right? 21 and the card 3. 3 always reminds me of the divine masculine feminine, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the balance, the yin yang. So it says the frequency of the divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. This is the birthing. This is becoming a magnet. So be mindful of what you're magnetizing towards you during this retrograde. I put choose happy for a reason, right? We can so easily feed the addictive tendencies, the procrastination, the avoidance, the drama. Which will just bring more of it into our lives. The divine feminine here is about wisdom, insight. She needs to be soothed, nourished, to understand we all have this divine feminine within us, no matter if we resonate with male or female. It's not gender specific. I keep seeing pile 1. I keep seeing the cards I chose in pile 1. So those of you, if you were on the fence and you started with pile 2 and you were thinking about pile 1, you might want to go there next, because it talks more about the nurturing, right? How can we recognize the part of us that wants to distract ourselves? You know, I was saying in the first reading, I was saying every time I read a book, or every time I'm reading or experience something that really I can feel soul shifts inside of me. I can feel wisdom opening and the breakdown of what I thought I believed or what I thought I knew, right? I immediately want to pick up my phone and distract myself, or I want to get up and go find something else to do. And I had to work towards sticking out that feeling of wanting to distract myself. I got that hit. Wow, that was really great. Oh, go look at your phone. What's on TV? What's happening in the world? What's going on outside? Right? So I had to be aware of that and mindful of it. So this divine feminine wisdom within you is going to be calling you. It's going to be calling for change. It's going to be calling for shifts. And when it does that, it's going to bring up what needs to be healed, what needs to be seen. So being very soothing and nurturing and saying, I recognize it, right? When you start to feel that tension in your middle back, in your chest. For me, when my lower back starts to get sore, I'm like, oh, there's the anxiousness. Oh, there's the anxiety. And I'm just like, breathe, relax, soften, and open. I am safe. I'm protected, and all is well right here and right now. That's what I say to myself, kindly, gently, lovingly, and I activate that feminine energy. A lot of us weren't raised with that. A lot of us didn't have those experiences. It was like always do better, do more. You're not good enough. Be like everybody else, right? We're so not that. So you're coming into your power through the end of the year, and I feel like the retrograde is here to shine a light on these shadow parts of you. So the final card is card 38, which is 11. 11 is a master number. It's a sacred number. It's the energy of new beginnings. It's remembrance. So it says the frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and a body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow graciously with and in this life. So let me see here if I can just move this. There we go. This card reading doesn't strike me as something where it's action oriented. For me, it's all perspective and aha moments, awarenesses, things we didn't see before. And it's not going to require you to do anything about it other than recognizing it. I see it. I feel it. I experience it. I get it now. I see those of you who chose pile 2. It's like they're showing me there's this part of you that's like tapping your toe or bouncing the knee, like impatiently waiting for things to happen. So there may not be anything that physically happens, or a call to duty is in going into the external 3D world. But there also, for some of you, may be like a call for you to see what needs to change. And then also see and observe what's happening with others if you're supposed to support them. Sometimes things are hard to see, hard to experience, hard to know. And that's where the divine feminine comes in, right? Intuition comes in a loving, gentle way. Call to remember who you are, this sacred energy of why you've come here to this planet once again to help heal, soothe, comfort, support, teach, inspire by living our best life. All right, so final message, affirmation, igniting courage. I love it. The affirmation, I am strong, valiant, and creative. I'm sorry. Strong, valiant, and courageous. Igniting courage. So I feel like this is you coming into your power. Leader, teacher, way shower. Using your gift of insight, being empowered. I'm seeing those of you activating your light, right, and moving forward. For some of you, the shadowy stuff here, right, is fears, adversity, looking at the limitations of the ego, maybe putting on you, oh, you can't do that, or you're not good enough, or you don't even know enough about that. You don't know where to begin. Just recognizing those thoughts and just calling it out, saying that's a lie. That's not true, right? Surrender your ego and then ask the Divine Feminine, what do I need to know about this? Show me how to transform my power. We've got some magical numbers here. 11, 2 3s here. It's manifesting energy, new beginnings energy. I love it. So many of you are on the cusp. You're on the precipice of a whole new life, a whole new energy, a whole new world, a whole new perspective. So thank you, Pile 2, for showing up into the world. Thank you for shining a light, being a leader, right? An earth angel. The world needs this. But people can be so, what's the word? Distracted, not paying attention, short memory. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't know the word I'm trying to think of. Like the attention span, right? Like we could know something and then we're on to something else and forget. Like, oh, that's something important. Like I need to pay attention to that. Like, oh, I forgot they said that. That wasn't nice. And then you just kind of go off. And so I think a lot of that is going to be brought up for you during this retrograde season. So stand strong, valiant, and courageous. I love it. All right, Pile 2, thank you so much for watching. I do hope to do more of these in the future, now that I got a better setup and I'm working on my comfort level here. So, those of you who chose Pile 2, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe this video to the channel. If you want to connect with me more, if you want to work with me, all the information is in the description box below. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. And Pile 3, welcome. Guardian angel, you are not alone. I hear that Michael Jackson song. You are not alone. I am here with you. Very soothing. So let me see here. Let me look up the guardian angel and share its message with you. Here we go. So the message: watch for signs and reminders from your angels and loved ones that they are close by. Remember, they are working hard to guide you. It says the guardian angel card shows a white feather that has become known as the guardian angel's business card. Whenever a white feather appears in your life and or this card appears in your reading, it's a message to say your guardian angel and ancestor guides are particularly close at this time and are there to support you with their love. If you've asked for help with a particular situation, know that there is divine intervention in the works. So, When I say we're in this liminal space, it's the space in between the endings and new beginnings. It's a place of pause. It's a place of reflection. But we're so used to living in this society of action, right? Doing something to get something, working towards something, that if we feel if we're not focused on it or doing something about whatever is missing or the void or the problem or the challenge, the ego says it's all on us. It's my responsibility. I need to, right? The guardian angel and the signs, the angel numbers, 444, 444 means hundreds of thousands of angels are with you. Ask them anything. You might look up at your clock and it's 444. You might be on the road and see a license plate with a series of fours. You may be watching a sports game and seeing 4 on a jersey or 44 on a jersey. Those are all different ways that the angels can come through to you. Maybe you'll get a receipt, $4.44. That happens. I feel like those of you who chose pile 3, maybe you're embarking on this Earth Angel mission on your own. Maybe you're in a space where, you're separating from soul groups and paradigms that no longer are in alignment with your soul growth, right? So you may be feeling alone, confused. Am I doing the right thing? The world doesn't understand me, right? So the guardian angel is reminding you with these signs, feathers, pennies. On a penny it says, "In God we trust." These are all ways that the angels can come in and assist you, just to let you know, I'm here with you. You're not alone. So let's see here. What to surrender this Mercury retrograde? Surrender negative thinking. It says you have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say, "Thank you for sharing," and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So I feel like the guidance for those of you who chose pile 3, I feel like your guides are going to help you become aware of the energy you're putting out. A lot of people have no idea, have no awareness of their energy and how it can come across. That was definitely something I had to really work on, and my energy and what I was putting out. So thank God I have beautiful mentors who tell me these things in the most loving way possible. So I keep seeing a mirror. For those of you who chose pile 3, pay attention to what's being reflected back to you. And then check in with yourself and ask yourself, how may I be doing that to myself? Become aware of your own inner bully or critic. How hard are you being on yourself? If you make a mistake or you don't know something or you're learning something, how hard are you on yourself to get it right? I think this is why the guardian angel came in. The guardian angel is very soft, gentle, and they're gentle reminders that you are not alone. We're here with you. You're not doing this by yourself. But like I said, those of you who chose pile 3, I feel like you may get a raw truth about the energy you're putting out, how you're portraying yourself. Are you downplaying your gifts, your own power, as to not stand out or not to have eyes on you? Are you hypercritical of other people, judgmental, right? It's just the human experience. It's the awareness, right? We all go to those places, but when you can recognize it and saying, wow, where is that coming from? Geesh, man, I'm tough today. girl, take a chill. Relax, breathe, right? I joke with myself a lot, but I do it in an endearing way. I tease myself. Cut yourself some slack. Woof! You're getting spicy. Those are some things I say to myself, right? How are you able to set boundaries and be firm? Are you coming across as a pushover? As somebody who can be taken advantage of? As a bitter, angry person? A lot of times we're not aware of the heat that comes off. So again, I think this is a hard truth reading. This 3 is like, I think it's going to be really raw. Pay attention to what people say, but it's not meant to be an attack. It's not meant to hurt you. It's like the rose-colored glasses being taken off, right? You've got to see what needs to be changed. You got to experience what needs to change in order for things to change. Pay attention to the repeated patterns over and over again. Are you getting into the same argument? Are you attracting the same people? Are you experiencing the same energy over and over again? Pay attention to how your body's feeling, right? Are you fired up? Are you in pain? Or do you have inflammation? Are you fuming, right? This is your guardian angel saying, we've got to let you know, and we love you, and we've got your back. You're not alone. Oh, I love it. Okay, so what's a soul lesson? Judgment. I mean, I think it's good that I don't pull these. I channel first, because these cards are always reinforcement of what I've just channeled. So, and this card says, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Listen. Look at me. Listen. The way we were raised, the way we grew up, culture, belief systems, ethnicity, race, where we grew up in the world, the mentality we grew up with, those all play a role in who we are, what we experience, what we learn, right? Not everybody grew up the way you did. Not everybody experienced what you experienced. Not everybody's like you, right? And so sometimes it can be really hard to understand where other people are coming from, why they think they do the way they do, why they do what they do. I chose a long time ago to fiercely love people exactly as they are. Now, that doesn't mean if it's not a vibrational match, I'm not assertive or set a boundary or choose not to entertain that energy. But I also understand they're where they're at for a reason, and that's perfectly okay. And then I can choose happy. I can choose where I put my energy. I can choose my attitude. I can choose what I see and what I don't see, right? So this week you may see some hard truths, and rising above it, looking at it from a perspective of love. How can I fiercely love this person and create space or set boundaries or be assertive or move away from it, right? You get to choose. So again, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. We might not always get what we want out of life, but God will certainly give us what we need in the moment. Wow, I can see why the angel feather came in first. I just keep hearing the angels say, you have a valid point. I know, but. Like, that's what I keep saying, like, I know that, but. And the angels are saying, we know, and we love you, and you'll see it. somehow, some way, we'll show you, right? So I keep getting the energy of invoking love into your body. So if receiving love is a hard thing for you to do because of heartache, betrayal, because of abuse growing up, because of the rug being pulled out, because it's too painful, that's where you have to start this Mercury retrograde. Because without being open to receiving love, unconditional love, it's really hard to get out of this space. So Angel Cassiel, Cassiel, she helps to remove the energy of heartache and betrayal. And she imprints the energy of unconditional love. So sometimes people have a hard time with God, right? Because maybe the way they're raised, their belief systems, right? Their difficulties with that. And that's fine. I was there. I totally get it. And this is why the angels worked out so well for me. That's where I started, because I could open to divine helpers. I was open to guides and the signs that were coming to me. So that's where I started. And because of that, a lot of this shifted out. Now, I'm not going to lie. It's not like I don't get negative or I don't have judgments. I certainly do, but I'm hyper aware of how it feels. And I give myself time enough to work through it and reflect upon it without saying, why do I keep doing to myself? Why does this keep happening? Now, I would certainly do that, but now I'm more gentle with it, saying, there it is again. I see it. All right, man. All right, I get it. Let's see. Show me. When you ask the universe, when you say to the universe, show me what I need to know about this. The shadow part or the difficult part or the challenge needs to make itself known in order for you to be aware of it. So that's kind of like that tension, that ebb and flow. Know that when you're in this and you're feeling like this, there's about to be growth when you recognize it. Like, I see it, I feel it. Especially with communication with Mercury retrograde. Really try to pull out from fueling the fire, knowing that everybody comes from a different perspective. Everybody comes from a different viewpoint, and that's okay. I think that's what makes the world beautiful. In my Sunday reading, I had a card that was really colorful. So let's use this for example, right? The purples and the blues and the yellows and the reds, they all blend beautifully together. Right? No color is more beautiful than the other. It's all the different colors that make the whole card beautiful, right? So it's the same thing with this scenery here, this beautiful scenery, oranges and purples. It's all the colors that blend together that make it beautiful. So when you can rise above this and ask God, Creator, the universe, your guardian angel, to show you from a different perspective humanity, you can actually see it as a whole, and you can see how all the colors, all of humanity make up a whole, and it makes the whole planet beautiful, radiant, joyful, loving. All right, so what's being activated? Transition. Yeah, number 7. The 7 card, I think 34 came out in another pile. Transition. It says the frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. So the energy of transition, let's see here. The energy of transition is supporting you through this Mercury retrograde. Change. growth, expansion, light, right? How can you be aware? It's interesting. I see the eye here, the all-seeing eye, the moon, the sun. I'm looking at it and it's almost like, so this is like the space, right? Above, up above. This perspective. I feel like this card is saying, now that I'm looking at these, I feel like the card is saying, come to us because we can see things that you're not able to see, right? We can help you understand why you're so troubled and having such a hard time, because you may certainly have valid points. There may be certainly reasons why you feel the way you feel. But I feel like your guardian angel's saying, and I can help you see from a higher perspective. I can help you understand it. Right? When a kid is in school, they get so frustrated with some of the things they have to learn. Why do I have to learn this? It's too hard. I don't like it. But I can tell you as an adult, I was really glad I learned how to count change. I was really glad I learned how to read. I was really glad for PE, right? And dance. Because it's helped me stay healthy throughout my life. So sometimes we're in these stages, we're in these experiences where we're like, what's the point? What does it even matter? I don't understand this. I hate this. It's stupid. Know that you've got to experience that uncomfortability, if that's even a word. That's what's coming up. You've got to experience being uncomfortable in order to make change, right? Most people have to really dislike their jobs, really have to be unhappy in their physical bodies or their environment or their home in order to make change, right? So those of you who chose pile 3, you're in the midst of changes and transformation, and your attitude, your energy, your vibration can certainly be playing a role. And I think this is why the angels say, because this can make you feel really alone and isolated and depressed, sad, right? So the angels are saying, we're the guiding light. Look up into the sky. Physically, some of you go outside at night and look up at the stars, call on the angels. Thinking of a guide. Horus. That's right. The all-seeing eye, right? The eye of protection. This energy could be coming back at you, right? Let's say you're in a place of love and light and you're joyful and you're feeling good, but you feel like you're in this type of environment and it's been really hard. Know that you're transitioning out of that. So be aware of your own like kindness towards yourself, your own gentleness, your own love towards yourself, because you could be transitioning out of this and it could feel very lonely if this is what you're surrounded by. And yet you're moving into more of a happy place. This can come up because you're clearing that out. So many of you are in a transitional space right now. Where you're at, especially those who chose pile 3, where you're at is not where you're going to stay. Continue to keep moving energetically, praying, healing, soothing yourself, taking care of yourself, being mindful of what you feed yourself on TV or the food that you're having, the articles you're reading, things like that. Make a choice to really go on a detox this next few weeks of any of this energy, right? Choosing happy, joyful could be so beneficial. And finally, the affirmation for you. Renewing your life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. I love it. See? It's like you're getting rid of maybe the energies that you're surrounded by, maybe the energies that, your own thinking, your own way of doing things. Cancel that. That's not what I'm saying. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see. your perspectives and the way you view things, the way you move through challenges. Again, are you hard on yourself? Are you beating yourself up? Critical. You're in a space where you need to recognize it, or you're recognizing it now. And it can be as simple as just, I'm going to choose a different thought. Or allowing yourself to have the experience, allowing yourself to be in the space of this and saying, well, what do I need to know about that? Where is that coming from? What have I been watching? What have I been experiencing? I've been watching this TV show on Netflix. It was called The 100. It's really good, but it's intense. And I noticed that it was starting to affect my sleep. It was starting to affect my thinking, my vibration. I'm like, oh, I got to pull back. TV shows like that come out like once a week for an hour. I'm sitting here watching multiple shows in one night or one afternoon. So I needed to pull back and saying, all right, I need to kind of give myself a break, right? Because what I'm filling myself with is creating angst within me. And so I literally took a couple days of no TV, no computer, no phone, and just slept and recharged and rebooted and recouped. And here I am, channeling these messages, right? So I had to recognize it and kick it off. It's just like, I see it. Not like, I'm never going to do that again. Or 0 to 60, I'm like, I recognize that. Ooh, okay, I need a break from that. So let me put that on pause and let me shift and do something that is going to nourish my soul. I baked. I made some soups, right? Things that were going to nourish myself. So know when these things come up, it's just the guardian angel saying, hey, we see you might be going down a path. We're helping you here. We just want to shine a light on this so that you can change direction, right? We love you so much. So when you start noticing these things, know that the angels are just lovingly redirecting you in a healthy, beautiful way. And when you see it, when you feel it, when you experience, that's the time to make the shift, right? Not to be hard on yourself, not to be tough, not to be critical, but just saying, thank you. Thank you, angels. Some of you may need to actually get rid of clutter, right? In this liminal space, the space in between of the endings and beginnings, right? Not much happening, not much growth, let's say, in the outside external world. Some of you may need to clutter clear. But not if you're distracting yourself. Not if you're procrastinating. All right, so let me close down this reading. So thank you so much, those of you who chose pile 3. If you want to stick around, I am going to close space if you want to stick around. If not, thank you so much for watching. If you want to work with me, all my information is down below. Want to know who I am, where I come from. It's all there to support you. Okay, I'm just going to put these out so we can close space for all who watched. Here. Mother. Here we go. All right, so let me close space, thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you today. Especially want to thank Earth Mother, Shapeshifter, and the guardian angel for showing up. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done. In mind, body, spirit, and emotions in all ways. All right, friends, thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful or useful or important, click that like button. You can leave me a comment in the box below. And again, if there's anything you want to learn about me or find out about me or how to work with me, I have my website and information there as well. So thank you so much for watching. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.